GameSpot users, welcome to early deployment. This is GameSpot's Battlefield 3 beta tournament, and we're very excited. We have a whole bunch of people outside of the GameSpot offices downstairs, 24 players in total. Did I get that right? That's even more than 24 players. We got teams of 12 versus teams of 12, and to help me out here, I've got Kevin O'Leary with Electronic Arts. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, tell us a little bit about, we're going to go down and check in with Homer Robara, who's downstairs with the players and everybody in a second, but tell us a little bit about what we're going to expect to see today and what mode, what kind of things are we going to see in today's tour?
We're very excited. So we're showing you an early look at our open beta coming out in a couple days here, and we're playing the Rush mode. This is one of our new favorites. It started in the Bad Company series. It's attack and defend based mode. So the attackers are starting out in a very big open Parisian park and working their way through a couple different sections. There's 4 different areas in total, and in the 4th area they're going to be fighting the Russians against in a very destroyed square. So the battle's already waged through this area, and they're coming to retake this outpost here. So you're going to see one of our urban-based maps on this mode, Rush, we were talking about, 24 players on PlayStation 3 today. So that's kind of the gist of what we're going to see.
That's excellent. You know what? I know Homer's downstairs. I think we should check in with Homer. He's going to give us a chance to see what's the mood like down there.
Nice.
Homer, let's move down to you and see what things are happening outside.
Sure thing, Kevin. Hey, man, we are down here on the courtyard of the GameSpot offices here on 2nd and Howard in San Francisco. Look at this craziness right behind me. Look at all these people. Yeah, look at that. People excited. We got a practice round going on right here. We got 12 on 12, green versus white, going head to head, attackers and defenders. But before we jump into all that, I have Owen Johnson here, community brand manager at EA. How's it going, Owen?
I'm doing great, thanks.
All right.
The energy here is great. You know, we love to come out here and see the fans, and it really just helps us do what we do every day.
So you've been doing this a little while with Battlefield 3. Has the response to the game been what you guys have been anticipated?
I gotta say, it's been so far beyond what we could have possibly imagined. You know, I mean, we always thought people would be excited about it, but this is just transcends everything.
Very cool. So as you can see, we got a lot of people excited behind me. We got a bunch of people waiting in the wings, ready to play. We got, let's be frank, hot dogs serving up some good grub out here. Nice. So anyways, if you guys are in the San Francisco area, if you guys want to get a chance to look at the new Battlefield 3 beta, that's coming out tomorrow, right?
Well, the official beta starts the 29th. Early access for those who pre-ordered Medal of Honor and pre-ordered Battlefield 3 Sioux Origin get in tomorrow.
All right, thanks for Owen for all that information. But as you can see, like, we have reached a boiling point right now. People are ready to play, so I think we'll jump right into the tournament action.
There you are.
The Kevins, let's hear some expert commentary as this match unfolds against white versus green. Sure. All right. There we go.
So yeah, here we go. We got white versus green to start with. Now, when we go in, what kind of strategies are we going to expect to see from these teams? We've got 12 versus 12. What are some of if you were playing? What are some of the things that you would keep in mind on this particular map?
We'll start with the attackers first. I love attacking. I love being aggressive, getting in there. I think one of the big things you're going to want to do as an attacker is stay together with your team, work together. That's one of the keys in any Battlefield match that you're going to play is you're able to group up into squads of 4, and everyone will be in a squad on their team. And you can work together in a whole bunch of different ways. It's as simple as hitting select on your PlayStation controller, and that will spot an enemy. So basically calls it out to your team. There's an audible cue, and then it puts a little red icon over their head, meaning like, I've got eyes on. And it's great because if you say you're way out of range, you spot him far away, and your guy's nearby, and all of a sudden he's right next to him, boom, you can turn and shoot him. Simple as that, all the way up to being the squad leader, which is a revision of what we've had in the past. The squad leader is able to spawn on any teammate or any squad mate in his group. So if there's one of the guys has made his way up as an attacker, you're at the crate, you're about to arm the MCOM station. The main objective is to blow up 8 MCOM stations as the attackers. If you're right there, spawn in on your buddy, lay down some support fire, help them out. One of the other great things is we have 4 different classes within the game. We'll probably go into plenty of detail on them along the show tonight, but mixing up those classes, kind of seeing where your team's at or where your squad's at, and as far as need is help. You know, if you have 3 support class characters out there just laying tons of fire, maybe it's a good time to become Assault, spawn in on one of your buddies and help them out with med packs in case they get shot down, things like that. So that's a few tips for those attackers out there. I think defenders, the big key again, using teamwork, same thing. If you've got a great spot, maybe you've got a good crossfire from one of the locations, not a lot going on behind you, spawn in a couple of guys, maybe a recon and a support guy. So a little bit of mid-range along with some long range. Great combo sitting there in a relatively well-hidden spot.
Now, what kind of vehicles will we be seeing on this particular map? Any at all?
No, not on this one. So this is one of the maps. Battlefield's definitely been known for vehicles. There's plenty of them there. We have tanks, APCs, helicopters, jets are back. Everyone loves the jets. Some watercraft, some other stuff in there. But today there aren't any major vehicles on the map.
Yeah, Battlefield 2, actually my favorite thing was to be infantry. So I'm very excited actually to see infantry only in these particular matches then.
Well, definitely,
that's really great.
It's a good one.
Homer, have we started up gaming or what's going on down there? You've got some exciting stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got some exciting stuff down here. We're actually getting into a match. They're setting them up. I actually have the team captain of Team Green right over here. What's going on, man? How's it going? What's your name?
My name is Keith, and it's going good.
All right, so you are the designated team leader of Team Green. Did you know that?
I did. I don't know why I got chosen, because I'm probably the worst player here right now, so yeah.
I think it was the cool North Face jacket, I think.
That could be it, yeah.
So you guys are defenders, right?
Yes, we are. No, actually, we're attackers coming up. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk strategy. You got a team of 12. You don't know all of these people, right?
I only know about 2 or 3 of them, so.
Okay. So how are you going to command your team to victory?
Just take it slow and believe in everybody, I guess. Talk strategy the entire time. So, I mean, nobody knows the map very good, so we're all here. So.
All right, you're giving it the old college try, right?
I guess so, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good luck, man. Hopefully you'll move on.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, look at that. I like that. A confident man. That's how you win, baby. All right, let's go talk to the Team White real quick. Come on over here, Tyler. All right, we got the captain of Team White over here. What's going on? What's your name?
Hi, Chris.
Chris. Another Chris.
Another Chris. Another one of the many Chris's.
All right, so you guys are defenders, right?
Correct.
So what are you going to do to keep Team Green off your back?
What we're going to do is we're going to be aggressive in front of the... Why am I... This is public? Everyone can hear my strategy? Come on, man. We're just going to kick some ass. Can I say that?
That's fine.
All right, we're going to...
Ass is cool.
Ass is cool. We're going to kick some ass.
All right, we're about to get started here. We got Jody Robinson. Are we kicking this thing off or what?
We're going right now.
All right, here we go. White versus green. Round 1 kicking off right now.
There you go.
Here we go.
All right, Kevin,
we're jumping in the map.
This is awesome. There we go. So it looks like we're following a defender right now. This might be, I wonder if this is Team Captain Chris.
How you doing?
So we're looking at team, is this Team White?
This is Team White.
This is
you
Team
can tell the icons on that left side of the bar there. If
Sure.
those are blue square, oh, there we go. Now we're on attackers. So those red diamond shape items, that means you are an attacker.
Sure.
So you'll see on the screen you have an A and a B icon, and they obviously are moving relative to where those actual MCOM stations are at.
Oh,
Looks
and already we've got trouble.
If that's Team Chris, he's not starting off so well. Hand up in the air for some life
A
support.
little aggressive.
That is
definitely
the
running
nature of a
forward.
first-person shooter. It is.
Yeah.
It is aggression in its finest form. Back to the attackers. So you can see it looks like a couple of them are pulling up on the left side. And this is a cool area. You're passing by a fountain. You can see there's a lot of foliage around, so you can take your time. You can work up, and we'll see if anyone spawns on him. We're not able to tell right away if he's the squad leader or not. But if so, that means anyone can spawn on him. He looks like he's with another teammate, not squad mate. So for those watching, anyone that's blue on your screen, that means they are a fellow teammate. Anyone that's green, either the icon or the name, that means they are a fellow squad mate. So one of those teammates just got put down by this clever... So this is the defender we were talking about earlier on that right side, getting a little cross beam on him. Oh, pull out the pistol, go to secondary. Very nice.
Wow,
see if he'll
very
pull up
nice.
oh,
man.
Well done, though. Oh, there it is.
Sniping for the win.
Well, this is one of many, so they can be long matches. It's a good grenade. Let's see where it lands. Got some damage. You saw him. Oh, real-time destruction. One of the Battlefield hallmarks there. You can actually see that tree. Actually, if it falls on you, does a little bit of damage. But more so, you saw it give him cover to get across. Put in some bullets. Well done.
I pulled that out. I was worried about the aiming there for a minute.
Knife him. I think he ran by a guy. There's a guy right below him. There, right there.
Shoot!
Use R2. R2 to knife. Oh,
There you go.
support
Oh.
class.
There we go.
Good work.
And some excellent use of switching to sidearm when necessary. Always quicker to switch to sidearm.
If you also notice, he actually picked up a fallen kit. One of the guys that he killed, he picked up that person's kit, and that's one of the unique things about Battlefield as well, is adapting your situation. I've definitely been known, empty a bullet, or empty a clip into someone, and when they die, you run over them. You hold square in this case to pick up a new set of tools for yourself. You change class, so you fundamentally, if you're recon, you fundamentally go over to assault. But it can be a good way, if you're out of bullets, to put someone down with your final clip magazine, and run on to the next.
Now, what exactly is the location that we're assaulting in this case? What, are we destroying? Are we infiltrating?
Yes, so the attackers are the Americans, the Marines in this case, and they are coming after, you'll see, I don't know if anyone will get the opportunity right now. No, it didn't happen. They're actually assaulting an anti-air station at this particular point so that they can rein in some CAS, some close air support. So that's the primary start right here, and then after they take this first section of MCOM stations, they're going to move on and continue to take that square. That's the main objective for those attackers, the Marines, and the Russians are dug in this Parisian square, and they're coming after. It's kind of a strategic control point for them.
Now, it seems like somebody on Team Green just earned a ribbon. For the uninitiated of Battlefield, can you explain what that ribbon is going to do for that player or for the team?
Yes, so there's one of the great things about Battlefield, there is so much to go after rather than just, oh, there we go, a disarm charge, almost there, and nice work, defenders. The ribbons, you have ribbons, pins, and medals, and all of those, I think they're metal. Ribbons and pins for sure. But those are, a lot of them are just really cool or unique milestones to hit. Some are cumulative, so 5,000 kills, and just as you're playing, obviously they rack up. Some are round specific, some are life specific. There's a whole bunch of different stuff in there, and part of it is just really to, for us, one of the important things is making sure that the journey through multiplayer is a reward in itself. It's not like when you finish multiplayer, if you unlock everything, you're gonna have this one gun that can just wreck house, no matter what. It's more about playing as yourself, finding out who you are on the battlefield, what your type of roles are, and along the way, going after setting some cool objectives for yourself, whether it be those pins or medals we were talking about, or just having a good time and getting them accidentally.
Sure.
There's a couple good ones. One of the favorites is always around road kills. There's always something in there where, whether it be landing a helicopter on an unsuspecting enemy, running someone over in a Jeep or a tank, there's a lot of good stuff you mix in with the vehicles, and they add a whole new element that we really like. And with especially the vehicles in the mix, I feel like it's pretty good right now. There's a lot of really good players out there. For the white captain to be so humble, I think he's actually there. He's leading his team pretty well so far. But a nice marksman ribbon. But as you can see, there's just this very visceral feeling and physical feeling of the war around you. There's so much happening. You can see the bullets snap and whiz by, and that's one of the things that's been important for us, is making sure really that every bullet shot has an impact in this world. Whether it's hitting a tree and just leaving a mark, or chipping away cover like you saw there. That guy overshot some bullets and chipped away a few rounds of that cement there. It's really important for us that this connection and this immersion to the world around you is true.
Sure. There's a lot of sense of impact to these death animations, I've noticed.
Yes.
That's something you don't often see. A lot of times you'll see them go limp, you'll see them fly in sort of unnatural ways, but there's some violence in the way these guys die.
You feel, especially when you see it, when you're playing as a character, obviously you're in the first person view, so you don't see yourself fall apart. You do, go down in a unique way, but one of the things we've done, and we'll talk probably a lot about today, that we're just incredibly proud of, is Frostbite 2 engine. This is the game engine that powers this game. It's been in development for quite a few years. Oh, there we go. Did I get that MCOM station? Oh, it's armed. Okay. Defenders are disarming. Attackers, if you're listening right now, it's great to stay and protect that station. Oh, just a little too late there. Wow, one of those guys just cleaned up 3 in a row. But with Frostbite 2, back to that, it's just this incredibly powerful tool for us to build this great game upon, and that's really one of the enablers that allowed us to build. This is the biggest and best Battlefield we've ever built by far, and this engine, things like the animation system, it's called the Ant-Animation System, and people are familiar if they're into the tech. It's actually been in sports games before. FIFA and Madden both use it, and we implemented it in a first-person shooter, obviously quite different. You're not dribbling a ball or throwing a touchdown. You're taking bullets in the shoulder, or you're sliding in cover, and all these different things. look and they feel, most importantly, they feel, exactly right there, you know, vaulting a fence, right? You can see your legs as you naturally would when you would do something like that. So it was really important for us in that immersive sense and the immersive goal to do such a thing. There's a couple of other ones in there, I'm sure we'll talk all about them, but animation, destruction, scale, lighting, and audio are the 5 kind of core components that we've identified with Frostbite 2.
Now, if I'm let's say that I didn't play Battlefield 2. I mean, it's been a little while. Yes, but on the other hand, let's say that I've been playing the heck out of Bad Company 2.
Yep.
What kind of lessons might I have learned from Battlefield Bad Company 2 that I'm bringing into this that would make me a valuable teammate?
You're going to find there's a lot of similarities between all the Battlefields. So I would say from a gameplay perspective, there's a lot of similarities. Oh, that's right there. Let's take a minute there to look at that beautiful flashlight that guy had. That was one of the cool things, one of the new things in the game is you can use flashlights, especially in this tight underground environment. Sure. Actually blind your enemies. From a distance, it kind of makes you a goose to be shot at, but when you're up close and personal, it really makes it tough to shoot back, as you'll hopefully see later. But for those that are playing Bad Company 2 and switching over to Battlefield 3, I think you'll find that you're going to be right at home. The controls are going to be very similar, the interface is similar, but the tone, I would say, or the feeling you get when you play the game is definitely different. This is a little bit more serious, I'd say, and it's connected more so to Battlefield 2. We really feel that it's the spiritual successor to Battlefield 2, but it's built on this brand new game engine, so people that have played in the Frostbite 1, you know, they're going to understand the destruction environments, you know, how it works with the tactical destruction, where you're popping off rounds, or, you know, someone's in a house, you shoot, you know, an RPG into the wall behind them and come in and stab them. That's one of the cool things in there, but there's so much we've added up right there. Someone pulling out a bipod, definitely one of my favorite new additions, part of that physical connection to the world around you.
Sure. Now, of course, Battlefield fans will be happy that decried this maybe in Battlefield in Bad Company 2. Hey, look, there's going prone.
There is.
Yes, so
rest
assured.
I'd say the 2 most notable things that we have added in from the Battlefield 2 audience is probably Glee, and this was, again, towards that spiritual successor attitude, is prone and jets. And so we'll first talk about prone. There's probably the people that are cheering right now, they are indeed recon players or snipers, and the people that are jeering are probably everyone else. Oh, let's see if we get some knives. Maybe we can show them.
Very nice.
Knife them. Okay.
Hey, a kill's a kill when
I agree.
it comes down to the
It would have been
nitty-gritty.
good timing, but it sounds like he's listening. Oh, again, knife him. Oh,
You just want to be fancy. Let him have his pistol.
I do want him to be fancy. That's right. Well, hopefully we'll get to see a knife kill later, but I guess with the Battlefield 2 audience, you know, they were so ingrained, like 64-player matches on PC. Obviously, Battlefield 2 was only on PC. Right there, you go. That nostalgia factor right there. That sense of awe.
But I mean, there was just such a great attacker run there. Like I was so pleased there for a while, and then to get gunned down at that moment where you seem to really be on a streak.
Yep.
But this is really interesting. Some tight quarters down there as the map is pushing them through. Through this station and beyond.
And you'll notice it's a pretty stark contrast to the first area we were at, right?
Absolutely.
We were outside in an open, sunny, bright area, and now we're downstairs in a poorly lit subway station. You can see the dynamics of Frostbite 2 in just this instance alone, right? It still is a beautiful environment. And we've not been known in the past for the tight urban style of fighting. And that's what we really are excited to do with Frostbite. It allows us to be just so dynamic with everything that we have available to us, and we like showing it off.
So tell me, like, okay, so we know that the platforms are going to have different player counts between PC and console, right? So let's say we're looking at a tight area like this. Has a lot of thought gone into, okay, so let's say we have a multitude of players on PC, fewer on console, to make sure that, because I can imagine a place like this, okay, suddenly it becomes very clogged or something like that. I'm sure a lot of thought has gone into the map design and making sure that players on all platforms feel like they're getting a full experience.
Absolutely. You know, one of the big things is that with mouse and keyboard, you can just really do a lot more. You have a lot more keys and inputs than you can have on console. Sure. And the style and the way that people play, you know, we've obviously been in the multiplayer business for over 10 years, so we've tracked a lot of data, we've seen a lot of telemetry, done a lot of research, and we've been talking to our fans for 10 years. and we know what works, and we've tried things that have helped us learn how to do things better. And one of the key learnings that we've done, the Frostbite engine allows us actually to scale to a higher level, but we've chosen on purpose to keep these player counts at 24 for console and 64 for PC because that's almost an optimal setting for the specific environments. To point out here, as you were mentioning, this is actually not a 64-player map on PC, it's a 32.
There you
so
go.
it's adding 8 more players, so 4 aside, and the size of the map you have here, that those 4 players get soaked in very nicely. You don't really, it doesn't really feel, from me playing on all platforms, I don't really feel like there's more people. I feel like there's maybe more targets, who knows, but it doesn't really feel crowded. It doesn't feel like I'm seeing people any quicker or more often than I would be on a console map.
The more people to shoot, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
Now we're getting ever so closer as teams are forced into meeting up with each other in this relatively thin environment.
So we had 3 total drop out on that side.
There's a lot. There's getting some good stuff. We actually saw just a quick thing to point out there. We saw a glimpse of our dog tags. One of the cool things we've added. So we've had dog tags since 2142, where if you come up and knife the player, you get a little bit of pride and joy in stealing their tags. And I do hope if we get some awesome knife kills later that they are captured. But the animations we were talking about, that visceral feeling, the dog tag stealing animation is definitely one of my favorites. So hopefully we'll get to see that. But the tags are not customizable, so you can do a bunch of different stuff to them. You can change some icons, you can put stats of yours on there. They're a dynamic tool to represent who you are as a player on the battlefield. So we're excited to first time really offer the chance to change them and customize them as your own.
Sure. And the attackers are truly making a push here. It looks like we're potentially making our way out of the station.
They're
getting close.
They still have both MCOM stations together. Defenders have really found their stride. There's actually a guy you can see, he was in that subway car. That's like basically the conductor station or whatever you would call it. And he was posted up there with looked like a bipoded gun. That's a incredibly powerful place to put it. But at the same time, when you're mounted up there, you're stuck. You're physically locked with your weapon on it. So sometimes you can, you're definitely at an advantage when you're in a hallway like that, but if someone makes it around the side, then you are prime time for knife time. Assault rifle ribbon, this guy is pretty effective. I think that means 5 kills in a row with his weapon of choice there. So he's right at an MCOM station, just past it underneath him. See where...
and this is always the trick if you don't know the map. How do I get down there?
Exactly. So it's always fun to watch players that are brand new at the map. They're trying to. There's a bipod coming out. They're always trying to find exactly how it works the best. You can see the white team here in defense covering one of the choke points in a way. That's actually a good one right there. Let's see if you can stay very tough to balance because there is a doorway right there. So with a support gun like that, especially when you're mounted in a bipod, it makes it really difficult to quickly track a new enemy, but he's loose fire, putting him down, nice work. You can see on the left side as well for those of us watching, because the player is a defender, they have those blue squares as I was mentioning, but the bar below, ooh, nice.
Oh, that was, pulling that one out, that was great.
Yeah. The red bar below with that number count, those are the number of tickets or basically lives left for the attackers, and so the defenders win by depleting the tickets before the attackers actually take them all down.
And a ticket is used whenever a player respawns.
Correct. And so if a player, actually that's one of the benefits of playing the Assault class, is you have a defibrillator, so you do lose the ticket, but if you bring them in, you get back life before time expires. And good spot. Let's see if the grenade went out, and
yeah, I think he got the enemy.
I think he got at least some damage on him.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite moves is running. I see a guy turn quickly, trying to get away into a room. I throw a grenade at the edge of the wall, let it bounce by me. By the time I run by it, usually it sits there. The guy's chasing me, and it blows him up. It's one of the advanced tactics I like to put into play.
Now, can you cook grenades?
You cannot. When you pull them out, you're able to just let them loose. Like this guy's already put on a sight weapon. That's one of the great things that we were talking a little bit about the journey of weapon. Customization is a big thing. Once you go through, you can add in 3 kind of attachments to your weapon. Whether it's an underslung rail, a light, a scopes, expandable camo, clips. There's a whole bunch you can look to use as you customize your loadout yourself.
Oop. Oh, down he goes.
Attackers are taking a pretty good shelling right now. They just lost a lot. You also see that screen quickly went by that there was a thing in the corner that said me versus foe, and you can see how many times in this match that they've either bested you or you've bested them. If you like to track nemesis kills and things of the like, which we definitely do have. Saving a buddy will be able to save your kill. There's always kill assist, obviously if you wing someone but don't quite finish them off and someone else does. Spotting assist, as I talked about. We actually saw a couple of marksman awards earlier, and those are a lot of fun. My favorite are headshot marksman awards. So if you snipe somebody from a big distance, I don't exactly know what the approximate distance is, but from a good sight range away, you'll get an extra bonus point based upon that distance that you actually killed him.
Did he just die because he was in the fire? I wasn't paying any attention to that.
I think he got shot.
Okay. I wasn't even sure if the fire was going to be
that environmental fire hurt you.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. I was,
oh, look at that jackpot. Knife him.
Come on.
Come on. Oh, his buddy turned around.
Sometimes you just got to get the kill. You may want to be fancy. I know.
There's a marksman bonus. Yep. Nice little 62 points. I know, but... You know,
I know Kevin, I know you like it fancy.
Built for TV, exactly. We like it fancy.
And let's say that I want to get my bearings first. Am I going to be able to jump in and spectate matches before I get my feet wet? Is that a feature that you'll be supporting?
It is something we are aggressively evaluating right now. We definitely want to have. Oh wow! Look at him just go.
Just beautiful.
See, look at that position. Yeah. That's great. 3 enemies down right there. That was very good positioning by the defender there. Unfortunately, as you can see, both. Now one of those crates is blinking in the corner. Oh no! And in order to get any replenishments as the attacker, you need to take down both MCOMs. So they had a minute ago both MCOM stations blinking. It looks like they're both blinking again. This is actually a new feature as well, that if an MCOM station, that one's now just armed. If an MCOM station is armed and you run out of tickets, they've got one. Oh, this is going to be a tight one. Oh, look at everyone is rushing for that area. This is when coming in with a grenade and just emptying the clip is a great idea. 6 tickets. Uh-oh. Oh, they got him.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it looks like attack. So the attackers have they have a new set of reinforcements.
The enemy has taken both objectives.
They get it? It's still flashing. But they have the tickets. Oh, it looks like they took it. So they are on to the next base. Base taken. You can see in the upper corner. Wow.
Very impressive.
Nice work, attackers. Yeah. What a run. You went down to 0 tickets, took it. So that was something different from Bad Company 2, is that if you ran out of tickets while an MCOM station was armed, the match was still over. And we decided to change that as part of the gameplay experience, right? We feel like you've come that far, you've secured yourself, but at the same time, if you do die when that crate's flashing, you won't be able to come back right away until you take it down, so guard your life wisely.
Oh.
Those that are wondering if they're still looking at the screens here like we are, you can see in the bottom left corner all those green, all those names there. Those are your squad mates. I believe the guy at the top should be your squad leader. It's either your leader or yourself. But those icons on the left of their names actually denotes what class they're playing. It's a good way of checking out, hey, all my team is playing support. Maybe it's a good time to go something else. This character we're looking at looks like he's going engineer. And the other 3 guys that are playing support.
Now, if I'm an engineer in an infantry-only map, what advantages am I bringing to the team?
One of my favorite ones is actually that you're still using that RPG. I like to think of RPGs as long sniper shots, a little slower. And they're great at splash damage. People that get either elevated positions or see people in a crowded... This is actually a great crowded area. You can't see it quite yet, but there's turnstiles. We're basically in the ticket checking area, if you will, of a subway station. You can see a squad one ribbon right there, so this looks like he is our squad captain, or our squad leader, which is great, getting his players to the battle quickly. But for the engineers, you can use that RPG at any time. You do offer good long distance support and splash damage. which I think is one of the good ones. Oh, thank you, player, for queuing up some support class action there. As support, you can drop extra ammo, as we just saw there, so your teammates can run over and resupply on it. But this is a great area actually for the RPGs. There's a lot of alleyways kind of on the side where people are in those windows. And you can put an RPG through a window, put a chair or so behind it, and that splash damage often will get a guy behind it or with the proper balancing.
Now on a map like this, positioning is always going to be key. Getting around, using cover to your advantage.
Prone.
Yep. And it looks like there's not a whole lot around that's going to be destructible. So when you're behind something, you're actually behind something in some of these more solid areas like this.
Yeah, one of the things that we've really focused on is obviously destruction is a hallmark of the franchise. People love it because it's fun, but it's also really useful and tactical. Oh, that is a great spot to be posted up in. Oh. That is a tough corner to turn. But not every single thing, nice, we get to see that player. Not every single thing is destructible in the game, and a big part of that is because of the gameplay, right? We want to make sure that players are having a great time, having fun in multiplayer. Obviously, authenticity is important for us, but you can see right there, blowing away some of the rubble, the pieces of the corners there. There's a lot of metal, like fallen steel buildings, I guess you would say, in this area. You can see this guy looks like he's behind one right now. Yep, right there. It's like a steel cabinet that's fallen down. So from a gameplay perspective, it's solid. It's not really going anywhere. So there are pieces of cover that are non-destructible, but obviously the majority of things are. You can see right there, he runs by a blown, tile off the wall. Those are big things that we definitely make sure are fully destructible. And you still will be able to take down. In this case, right, we're in a really this is a city, big buildings, lots of stuff around, so you're not able to fully flatten any buildings, but those small, wooden buildings, oh, look at that, defender making a move. Suppression assist, nice. So those are, that's one of the new things we have in the game, which is really cool. So the suppression, is basically when you are aiming or shooting at a player, but maybe you're not actually directly hitting them. This is most notably for the support character guys, right? Because you have a lot of bullets on those big guns. A lot of times you can shoot a full extended magazine, 200 rounds before reloading, and you can shoot around other characters, and it affects what we call your combat effect, combat awareness. So you'll see your screen kind of blur and darken in a little bit on the sides, and it's not meant to be a full, it's not blinding by any means, but it definitely is distracting, and it, like you said, it lowers your effectiveness, your awareness a bit.
Oh, I was worried there for a minute.
Look at that. Oh,
down he goes anyway.
Wow, that player really went down. So suppression assist is when you're shooting at the players and you're shooting around them, and it's not directly hitting them, but it's definitely affecting them. Wow, look at that player just rack up the points. That is teamwork at its finest. Squad heal and squad spawn. The suppression is a really cool thing. So
that's what you get for getting up.
Yeah, there we go. That was the guy. Another big suppression assist right there. So laying down fire, you may not be the one that actually kills them, but you're definitely, we like to think of it right in a real battle scenario. You would definitely be hiding in cover if that was your life. There's no respawn, right? So hiding behind cover and being pinned down by another team, that's definitely adding to the value of your team. So we want to reward people for that.
Great use of the bipod there.
Yeah, getting down in the prone, and bipod's really useful for multiple reasons. We didn't really go into detail, but the detail of it is that when we're down in bipod, you obviously are more effective. You have better accuracy. The range is extended a bit because of how kind of locked in you are. If anyone that's fired real firearms, you know that you're carrying like an M249 or a 240. Those guns are heavy. They're big.
But you're vulnerable.
Well, there's a good kick.
Yeah.
Exactly, but your range, how far you can turn with that bipod, definitely limits you. And I would like to say you're more tunnel vision.
Sure.
In a way, you're looking downhill rather than around.
Probably the wall's not the best place to run.
Kept him alive somehow. So you can see that player is not using the bipod, and at that distance, it's making it a little bit tough. The guy is trying to get cute and go around, but unfortunately, that is a dead end.
Yeah, but he showed that wall who's boss.
Attackers, all of a sudden, wow, down to 5 tickets.
Yep.
Let's see if they can rally.
3? Oh no, 4.
4. Let's see if they can rally.
Oh, now it's 3.
Making for both 2.
2.
Attackers final push, and there it is.
Boom.
Well fought battle. Well fought. Got some good scores up and over there. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That was fantastic. You know what? Let's check in with Homer. Homer, can you check in with the team, see how you're feeling down there, see how the teams are feeling about their performance?
Hey, what's going on? It's Homer down here at the courtyard. We got Owen here. Owen, we had an exciting match between Team White, Team Green. Team White prevailed, the defenders. The green team made a good run. They were down to 1 ticket. They got the point blown up, but they met their demise.
Yeah, no, they definitely rallied. I thought
So we're getting some feedback. We're getting some crazy feedback.
Oh, they definitely rallied back there. I thought that they were over earlier, but yeah, I think they had about 1 ticket left, and they managed to capture the MCOM. And really, I mean, they made a push, and they almost got to the outside. If they had gotten those last MCOM, they would have pushed to the last 2. Anyway, great match.
All right, we're going to get ready. Thanks for joining us on it. Owen, we're going to talk with the designated team leader, Team Green. You guys made a good push right there in the middle, but
I don't know what happened. The second area we won it with about 6 kills left, or 6 deaths. I don't know what happened on the third. I don't know. Next time.
All right. Well, you're going to go into the losers bracket. You guys aren't out of the tournament yet. Still got 1 opportunity to take the championship, although you're going to have to go a little bit of a roundabout way to go about it.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, at least we know what we're going to go. You know, we know what to do next time, I think. We're going to talk about it probably. So.
All right. Good luck in the next round. All right. Let's talk to the captain of Team White right here. All right, you guys you had your backs against the wall for a second there, but then the momentum shifted towards your guys' team. What happened? What brought it all together?
I think we all started communicating a little bit more clearly. We had an even dispersion of squads on each side, so we really took it to them. They could have been a little bit more aggressive, but I think maybe they doubted themselves or something. I'm not sure why they hesitated in some of the moments that they had. But whatever, we took advantage of it. We suppressed them, and that was it.
All right, so what do you think so far?
I think that we're on a good track. I think we're going to severely kick some ass on attacking. That's what we do. Team White is going to go crazy tonight.
The delay is kind of weird, huh?
WWE type thing.
All right, man. Congratulations. You guys are moving on to the winner's circle. Jody Robinson. Oh, wait, Jody's coordinating right. Marco, let's get down here, man. So, Marco, you were watching the match on both sides of the ball the whole time. What did you guys observe? What did you think is a good tactic that the defenders did in order to retain the match?
It's all about communication. They were talking to each other non-stop throughout the match. And if you give that time where you're just not talking, you're allowing the opposition to get in there and do exactly what you don't want them to do, kick your butt.
All right, so Team White's moving on. Team Green going into the losers bracket. They got a roundabout way. They might have to really get it together for the losers bracket in order to advance. It's a double elimination competition here. So what do you think? Blue or red in the next round?
Whichever team communicates will win.
All right.
That's all I got to say.
That's it. All right, guys. So we're going to get Team Blue and Team Red in here very quickly. They're going to warm up for a little bit, and then we'll get the match underway. But in the meantime, I'm going to toss it back to the Kevins right now to talk a little bit more about the game.